Ramble.
Welcome to Curious with Josh Peck. Start the show.
Guys, welcome back to the Curious Podcast. It's me, Joshua Peck. It's my full name. It's my government name. It's the name my mother gave me. God bless that woman, because she's my sweet baby angel. And I'm just a big fan. Guys, I'm going to make the intro quick today because I'm a dick, and I took forever to get this to my podcast people. My boy Kevin, who's listening to this now. Kevin, bro, I'm so sorry this took forever. I'm literally giving him this like hours before the podcast goes live on the interweb, or is that where podcasts live? They live on a server where, Apple and Spotify and some whatever Google service is, hosting this, and for people to I don't know, subscribe, to find, to pick up. But nevertheless, Kevin, I'm sorry. The day got away from me. What can I say? I'm not great. Sometimes work gets a little hectic. The mind scatters, I got things. I'm lying. I went hiking. Is that bad? It's probably bad. I mean, okay. I worked a lot today, like a lot. And yes, there was an hour and a half devoted to hiking, but I got to have some me time. I'm not a perfect person. I need to, I need some of those good feeling endorphins to kind of chase away the scary thoughts and feelings that I have, right? Why not? Why am I talking in this high register? That can't be nice on your ears. This can't sound, this shrill, just bitching can't sound good coming out of your Toyota Prius speakers. I'm going to lower it down, guys. Let me get back to self. God, I'm crazy today. I'm on one. I took some Alpha Brain from Onnit earlier today, and I know what you're thinking. Drugs? No. They're nootropics. This isn't even a sponsored advertisement thing. I took them. They're supposed to be like brain health drugs. They're like brain food. It's sort of like amino acid, branch chain things, things that your brain uses to sort of operate better. And I don't know if it works or not, but I feel at the top of my brain game right now, and it's not bad. I'm going to have a kid soon, guys. I don't know how to feel about it. I do know. I'm really looking forward to it. I just got that feeling when I said that. I'm choking up, guys. I'm emotional. And I'm shot out of a cannon. No, I'm going to have a child. I really can't wait. And I'm so lucky because my wife is so wonderful. And my mom is dope. And her mom is dope. And life is dope. It's not perfect. This weekend, I had a moment. I fucking hit a wall. And I said to my wife, thank God, because I'm well trained. I was like, wife, I need to vent for the next 25 seconds to 3 minutes, and I just need you to listen, and this is not directed towards you. So I gave her the caveat, the warning. I'm going to spew some shit, and this is not going to be pretty, and it's going to be full of self-centered fear and projection. Just know it's not pointed or directed at you. You just happen to be the closest person to me. Plus, I feel able to be emotionally vulnerable in front of you because I've known you a long time and you've seen me naked, and so I feel as though I can trust you with my darkest secrets. So here it goes. And I just went. And I just talked about my dissatisfaction with certain things that go on in my life, because we all have them, right? There's always something that ain't going perfectly. But you know what? It was okay. I got it out. Felt better. I really did. Felt good ever since. I really have. So good for me. What do I want a parade? No. I just thought I'd share it. It's possible to feel better. It's possible to have a bit of a shitty committee going on in your brain. That thing that wakes you up in the morning and tells you you're not enough. That maybe you need to work harder or do more if you're a little more attractive or a little thinner or a little, just a little bit better. If you made a little more money or I don't know. The lies we tell ourselves. If only there was there. You know what I mean? If only, then I could be happy. Then I could begin to enjoy. But until then, I'm going to have to wait it out. It's not true. It's not true. Didn't I say this was going to be short? I'm sorry, Kevin. Fuck. Here I go again. Back to my old tricks. I mean, Kevin's got a life. He's got a wife. He wants to go to bed. He doesn't want to be editing my schmucky, middling podcast that probably does okay. Probably not doing we're not Joe Rogan territory by any means. Maybe we're a 10th. Joe Rogan's killing it. but maybe one day. You guys listen. If you tell a friend, you rate it on the iTunes. You know what? You guys don't owe me shit. Don't tell a friend. How about that? Actually, you know what? Tell a friend not to listen. That's what I deserve. I'm so lucky that you guys listen. I shouldn't expect anything more than that. You don't owe me a thing. I just hope you enjoy this. God knows I am. Kevin, I feel terrible. I should just cut this short. I told you I would, but here I go. 'Cause I'm such a fan of me. I love listening to my words. It feels so self-important. God, I should write a book, but that would take discipline, which I don't have. Oh, all right, guys, today's episode, Jason Ellis. Are you familiar with him? You should be. I'm sure most of you are. Jason Ellis is incredibly talented. He's got a incredibly huge radio, Sirius satellite radio talk show on Faction Talk called The Jason Ellis Show. And I've been listening to him for almost 10 years now and have been a fan ever since. Red Dragons. He's got an incredible story. He's from Australia, started out as a professional skateboarder, became one of, the biggest radio guys on satellite, and I'll let him, tell it. But I'm such a fan, and he was so kind to be willing to do my podcast because I randomly reached out to him on the Instagram. So forgive me. I did listen to this podcast before I put it up, and I feel like I talk a lot, maybe too much, or maybe I talk just enough, and I'm planting the seed in your head now to fail. And you guys are just going to be now listening and overly judging me when perhaps, had I not said anything, you would have just enjoyed it. Anyway, I love Jason. He's the dopest. Enjoy it. Listen to his podcast, Ellistronics, and yeah, enjoy. Jason.
That's 2 days. Yeah. Every day for the rest of your life, that would not work.
Well, I mean, I'm one of those. I'm 10 years sober, so you don't have to tell me about how good those pills feel at the right time.
Well, I'm a total failure, so I did a year and a half, and then I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I'll talk about anything, man.
Amazing. I want to hear more about it. So, yeah, I think we're good.
Okay.
So, you were sober a year and a half?
Yeah. I've been sober a couple of times. I think
Right.
the longest I did was about 4 years or something. And that was without going to AA or anything. That was just...
Dry.
I had a heart murmur, and I thought that it was just in my head.
Right.
Father died. It just freaked me out, so I was just terrified I put the fear in myself somehow from drinking, so it was easy to not drink because I thought if I drank that I would have a heart attack.
Right.
Don't know how my father died, gave me my first dose of panic attacks without anybody saying, a panic attack was for pussies. It was not just, to me it wasn't real.
Yeah.
So I was having a heart attack and I just could have kept it. I had like little heart attacks that I kept to myself for a while.
Right. I feel like you must have been like De Niro or Tony Soprano when they got their panic attacks. And they were like, "Fuck you! I'm having a fucking heart attack."
I didn't. Yeah, I always said if you think it's a panic attack, then it wouldn't be that big of a deal. You wouldn't be that alarmed.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like the reason you're having a panic attack is because you're absolutely positive it's a heart attack.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like if a doctor's telling you he's got you on a heart meter and he goes, "Dude, you're having a panic attack," I fucking guarantee it. If it's a panic attack, it's gone in 10 minutes. But
Right.
if it's, because the thing is, you can panic your heart into a arrhythmia where the doctor thinks you're having a heart attack. Because I've
Right.
done that.
And for a guy like you, I would imagine that you've been through so much extreme shit and you've lived this crazy life. You're like, I'm not fucking panicked over this. Doesn't make sense.
Oh no, I would not even register that any trauma in my life had anything to do with my heart beating a different way or me feeling anxious.
But
It was for sure a medical condition.
and
Physical condition, sorry.
and what's that? Because I have to ask is why I believe that I've never truly had one. Like I've had the normal anxiety that comes with being a Jew, but that's just
It's anxious?
yeah. We're sort of at a resting nervous.
Okay. Is it anything like being illiterate?
It could be.
Okay,
Yeah.
then I can get there.
Yeah, near there. But for you, walk me through the feeling because it feels like you're dying.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Well, I mean, because I mean, I do have a heart arrhythmia, and then in the end, my heart did go into AFib. Like I kind of like stressed myself into having a heart condition
Jesus.
because I think my brother and my father died in the same year, and I think it just fucked with me really hard. But I didn't. This is just I know it's not that long ago, but I was just like things that can happen in your life don't have anything to do with your physical body, and they never will.
Yeah.
So I never put two and there was never. This is when I lived in Australia. There was never. I didn't have a wise friend. Maybe I did, but I probably wasn't asking him the right questions. We were just young and stupid, and I lived by myself and was living in America as a skateboarder who came here when I was a little kid, so I was raised by nobody. So I didn't ask anybody anything about it until maybe I might have. I think like from being in mixed martial arts and meeting people that are into a better diet and a better way of living, and then all of a sudden people are talking about mental and you do ayahuasca and it can relieve stress and anxiety, and I'm like, what are you guys talking about? And
What do you
stress
think
and
about that?
anxiety.
The ayahuasca shit? Because I'm fucking on the fence.
Well, you're sober, so that's why you have to be on the fence.
Well, I've lost my ticket to ride. I mean,
Right, because
yeah.
I was told by my sponsor, he's like, well, you won't be doing that. I'm like, why not?
Right. I'm
He's
not
like,
going to be
'cause you're
sucking
sober.
dick
And
for
I'm like,
ayahuasca. Like,
right. See, I didn't even, because I'd only heard of ayahuasca as a medicine. I'd never heard anybody saying that they were getting off having a good time. From what I gathered, it was
Right.
terrible, but you went through another side and became a better person.
Yes.
So it wasn't like, yeah, man, I do it, every year I go to this summer Coachella thing
Yeah,
and
to
fucking
shit
do
myself
ayahuasca. Like, it
for-
doesn't,
for a day.
so it never, I know it's probably won't make sense to somebody who's sober, but if you break my arm, I'll do a painkiller, but I'm not gonna. I know the difference between I'll do a painkiller because you broke my arm, or because I'm gonna go out, or I'm like,
just want to escape.
yeah, just want to. I'm like, oh man, I'm fucking sick of the day. Like, give me a painkiller. Like I know the difference. Like, it was
Right.
never, and it was always easier for me because I love skateboarding so much that when the thing healed, I'm not doing any more painkillers, no matter how good that felt, because I've got a better job to do.
You, so, have you ever done ayahuasca? Are you tempted?
No, because I was always when I first found out about it, I was to the panic thing.
Right.
I was still no, it's a fucking heart problem. So my friend was like, "Do I want to come to Peru?" And I was like, "No, I would love to. It sounds like it would really cure me, but no." Because I don't want to have a fucking heart attack in Peru with some old
fuck.
dude with a fucking grey beard. Because that's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
Like in a dark room, vomiting and having a heart attack. Please tell my kids I love them. Like,
Fuck.
I was like, I can't go.
Yeah, the last sight you see is some Peruvian shaman while you're shitting yourself.
I just figured that I was always thinking I was going to die soon. I've always kind of thought that.
Yeah, I have too. I
Really?
mean, drugs started turning on me, especially when I would do it, and I wouldn't even have that 5 or 10 minutes of that deep sigh of relief, and then eventually get shit. It was like in a minute, like the second I did it, I'd be like, I'm fucking dead. That's it. I'm dead. This is the one. This is the one.
What drugs did you do?
I was on everything but skates, really. I mean, everything.
Wow.
Anything you can imagine. Yeah. I mean, I was a child actor, and so I was sort of teed up to have a slow sort of voyage into the abyss. But
You're like a little fat kid, right?
yeah, I was a fat kid.
Yeah, my daughter freaked out on you today.
No way.
Yeah, because I'm like, this guy asked me to go on his podcast, and I'm like, yeah, sure, man. And then
I can't believe you said yes.
well, dude,
I'm on it.
I say yes to everybody that asked me, but then like 2 days later, I looked at your Instagram because I'm like, why would you even want me on your show? And I'm like, 5.9 million people? Who the
Jesus.
fuck is this dude? What did you do? And then I'm like, I don't know. And then I see your little fat kid, and I'm like, okay, you were on a show that I didn't watch, so I don't know.
Sure.
And I'm like, it's obviously successful, but I don't know what you do now. And there's a big jump because you've aged and you're not fat anymore.
Right.
And you look like, and then I looked at the thing, I'm like, okay, you're a professional actor.
Yeah.
So maybe you're in a bunch of TV shows that I don't know about because I don't watch TV.
Yeah, no one does anymore.
And then my daughter today, I go, this guy hit me up. And I honestly was like, yeah, sure, man. Sure, kid, I'll do your podcast. And then I looked back at it afterward and was like, okay, this dude's like a billion times bigger than me.
Come on.
What what is this? I mean, on Instagram, dude, I suck. I was just telling my trainer the other day that I went down 3,000 followers in like a day.
What was that from?
I don't know. It just happens to me every now and then.
Instagram also clears out fake accounts. They do some
Because
housekeeping.
then it'll go up 1,000. I don't know what that is.
It's hard to fucking know. I mean, the one thing is that with my following on Instagram, it's the only thing where I'm like, at least this might be able to get people that I look up to and I'm a fan of to be on the pod. So,
But you were on Vine first, right?
I was on Vine.
Sorry, Nickelodeon show.
Nickelodeon.
My daughter broke it down to me this morning.
She's my demographic for sure.
Right, because she shit a brick. I was like, you need to calm down. I'm like, man, I'm desperately trying to be cool. This is, and then like you just blew me out of the water by just showing up.
Come on. I'm glad I can facilitate.
Yeah.
But
definitely say I'm cool when you leave. That would help.
No problem. I got your back 100%. But yeah, I mean, back to the ayahuasca of it all. It's an interesting thing, right? Because I'm sober and I'm tempted, of course, because I'm always looking for that you mean I don't have to meditate 3 times a day and work out? Fuck no. I don't have a great practice. But
that's pretty disciplined. When people go that hard, I admire it, but I also don't want to be around it because that's not how I want to live my days out. You know what I mean? I've been disciplined. I've done it for fights.
Right.
It's not how I enjoy my life.
I mean, do you feel like, to me, it's in like the spiritual woke ones who I look up to, it seems like there's such a practice of like, I work out, I'm ruthlessly honest, I meditate, I do stuff for other people, and once I get all that done, then I can have a good day. And I'm like, that sounds great. But first of all, I don't know if it's attainable. And my bigger fear is on the other side of that, I'm still going to be fucking depressed.
Yeah, I mean, that's a paranoid delusion to think that you're still going to be depressed. If you put in that amount of work, depending on the goal you want, I mean, if you're going to put that amount of work so you can have a lot of followers on Instagram, then you'll still be depressed. But if you're putting in that amount of work so that you can be happy with your day, you're going to be happy with your day.
Yes.
Because if you put in, I always feel like if you put in like 50% of what a dude says he's doing on Instagram, you're doing good.
100%.
Because, you know what I mean? Like, to me, CrossFit people, even MMA guys, man, skateboarders, everything I've ever done, I've always overdone it. And that's how you get good at stuff.
Right.
I just don't, I'm older now and I just, I annoy me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to hear my show. I don't want to hear me talk about me kicking ass and taking. I'm like, shut up, dude. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't want to hear everyone else do it anymore. So I get it. It's your time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just, monster, and fucking, I'm gonna win there. And I'm like, cool, man. I've like slowly switched off from like really over caring, which has made my life so much easier.
I'm sure. Is that just age, or is that like life experience, or both?
I don't know, because it came with age. So
right. So who would have thought?
I think life experience, but honestly, because man, I've experienced a lot when I was young too. I don't think I learned from it when I was young. So I would say more age that somehow it's happened.
At this point, and I'm only 31, but I like get turned off to too much ambition. I'm like, enough already with your ambition.
Yeah, I mean, depends where you are in your life. You know, like if you're young and you've got nothing, then you better have all the ambition in the world.
It's true.
You know, but if you're, my age and you're barking at me about, I don't know, taking over the fucking world with some show or something, I'm like, dude, I hope you do.
Yeah.
I just don't care.
I can't see how hard you're grinding on fucking Instagram or how much we have to hustle today because it's Monday. Like, it's all to me, and to pull from some program terminology, it's like self-will run riot. Like, I can't listen to how hard you are going to take life by the horns, because my whole thing is like, the only thing that's given me any relief in this life is the belief that a good life will be the result of good living.
Yeah.
That it's not for me to go out and get money and women and experience. It's like, if I'm being good, it'll all fucking work out.
Do you make tons of money?
I do pretty all right. Thank God.
Is it the Instagram, or is it the show, or what is it that makes you tons of money?
I've been really smart in that I've I was a broke kid. I had nothing. Yeah. So I've never squandered my money. I've always put it away. So between TV, social media is fucking beautiful.
Wait,
YouTube,
the TV money when you were little, you have money from that?
Well, I still worked over the last 10 years, movies, and I did a big show with John Stamos 2 years ago on Fox. And so I've been really smart about that. And also like with social media, the podcasts, mean, yeah, I can do pretty well. I mean, I'm married now. I got a kid on the way, so
Oh, wow.
it's gonna-
Congratulations.
thank you. So it's gonna get pricier. I got more people to take care of,
Yeah. You probably spend less on stupid shit, though.
but 100%.
You know?
Yeah, I'm not squandering my money too bad.
Yeah, it'll take a while. Wow, you're about to step into the zone.
Fuck, man. You got any advice?
Yeah, don't do it. But it's too late now, right?
I mean,
That's awesome.
I heard a interview of yours from I think last year or maybe this year that you did for another guy who's on satellite, and it's on YouTube. And I think you guys had like originally had some beef, or
Oh, was he talking about the gay stuff?
maybe.
Yeah, Sam Roberts.
And
He don't talk anymore.
yeah, you're done with him.
Yeah, everybody in New York always has two sides, two faces to me, and I'm just
Real body
I'm
karate.
too emotional. I'm too, you know what I mean? Like everything's too real to me. So I'm like, wait, what? You say one thing and you're gonna do another? Like you broke my heart.
Really?
But it's cheesy because we're not super tight. But
I
at
know
one
what you
point,
mean.
I thought we kind of like were buddies and we were gonna do something together, and then it just sort of seemed like all of a sudden it was like, nah, man, like you're here, but you know what I mean, I'm carrying it. I'm like, no, oh, okay, because I don't want to argue. I don't want to have a pissing contest. I've done that,
Right.
And I was like, oh, it's gonna be a pissing contest. I'm like, God damn it, man! I thought we were just gonna be okay with me being the leader of this, and you were, because that's just where it is.
Yeah, it's just reality.
Just don't. But I'm like, if you want to make it a pissing contest, then I'm out. You know what I mean? And I started just saying, I think everybody should just, if you think they're the best, I agree. You know what I mean? I don't want to be, because I did it for myself. I know how to get good at stuff. I tell myself that I am the best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as far as I'm concerned, I am. But I notice that whenever I say it, there's like people that are on the same level or around the same high or whatever it is that take that offensively.
Right. They take issue with
And
it.
you know what I mean? And I couldn't, and from skateboarding, like if you point out, what the fuck, I'm fucking better than you, I'll be like, fucking prove it, bitch, because I'm pretty sure I'll destroy you.
Yeah, let's go.
But that's not, you know what I mean? In radio, in the real world, like it's never going to butt heads and actually go. Like,
But like when I
we
listen,
can't actually have a contest, so it doesn't mean anything.
right? Because it's all fucking
It just means
subjective.
right? And when we go the back and forth thing, I'm not the guy that gets off on being a shock jock. Like I know that it's like the genre or whatever it is that I'm supposed to be in, but I don't want to actually have like a legitimate argument with you.
Right.
I know people get pumped on that, and that's more them.
What's up, y'all? We got a little advertisement over here because we got to keep the lights on because, like, podcasting isn't free. Like, it's free for you, but, like, we have bills, so don't worry about it. Anyway, Simple Contacts. What is it? It's the most convenient way to renew your contact lens prescription. Reorder your brand of contacts from anywhere in minutes. Instead of heading to the doctor year after year just to renew your prescription for something you wear every day, you can do it on your own time and terms in just a few minutes. This is vision care for the 21st century, which is the century that we are in. There are a million things demanding your time, and this, you know what? It's just easy because the Simple Contacts vision test is self-guided, takes 5 minutes. Think of how much time you'll save. It's designed by ophthalmologists and a licensed doctor reviews every test so you can skip the office visit, but not the care. And the reviews, they speak for themselves. Simple Contacts has all the brands and types of lenses you're familiar with, so you never have to stop and shop and just, you know what I mean? It's comfortable. And listen, I got a kid on the way. I'm very busy. I have errands. I have a podcast. Can't be busy reordering my contact lenses and on the interweb. No. I need the ease that Simple Contacts affords me. And guess what? The vision test is only $20. Compare that with an appointment, which without insurance could cost up to $200. The contact lens prices are unbeatable. Standard shipping is free. And best of all, we're offering a promotion to my listeners. So to save $20 on your lenses, just go to simplecontacts.com/curious or enter the code CURIOUS at checkout. Now, I want to mention this isn't a replacement for your periodic full eye health exam. You still need those occasionally, but it is the most convenient way to renew a prescription and reorder your contacts if your vision hasn't changed. Again, check out Simple Contacts and get $20 off by going to simplecontacts.com/curious or just enter code CURIOUS at checkout. Yeah. But even like Howard, who I'm a huge fan of, and I know from listening to you, you love him as do I. And even as you look at him over the last 30 years, he's gotten away from that. Like he seems to have less and less interest in
It's
that.
his fault too. You know, man, because that's the person I knew, and I knew that he was a guy that was always a headhunter. So I was under the impression that
Got to go after people.
if you come after me, I'll come after you, which was, you know, because I like competition. So that was like part of the thing that made me want to be in radio, that I could have a radio war with somebody, because Stern did.
Yeah.
And then being in it a little longer, having a couple of wars, then listening to old Stern, that's like stuff that I wasn't aware of because I'm not from here.
Yeah. 80s, 90s Stern.
And then knowing the Opie and Anthony, and then meeting Opie and Anthony and seeing how bitter they are.
Right.
And how rich they are from talking for 3 or 4 hours a day.
Right.
And me like coming up on them and knowing their manager and knowing how much they get, and me fighting to get as much as them, and thinking, if I get near what they make right now, I will never bitch another day in my life.
Yeah.
And I will never take any extra shit anymore. I don't want to be Ryan Seacrest. If you offer me 10 million, I'll be like, well, you're not going to get my whole life. So you might want to back it off to be real, because I'm not going to do it. Like,
But
if you're like,
people-
work every day, if you get up in the morning, do this, and then do the film and do the show thing, we'll give you 20 million a year. I'll be like, no, I don't want it.
No, I'm good.
I want to go
Ryan
home.
Seacrest has too many jobs. I mean, how
Maybe,
can...
but he's got it planned out where, you know, his work is super fun.
It's
And
his
he
life.
doesn't have kids, right?
I don't think he has kids, and I would venture to guess, and not that he doesn't have his hand in everything and produces and whatnot, I think he's cool with saying the lines.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
God
that's the other
bless him
thing.
for that.
That's the other thing. I used to hate people who would say the lines or blow smoke up people's asses. I'd be like, God, I hate that. And then I met people that, when the camera's off, they're still blowing smoke up your ass.
Yeah.
They're really like that.
Yeah.
They love everything.
Oh, they're in that
I'm
world.
like, they love doing this.
They love that shit.
So why do you? It's like, you know,
They're
hating somebody
operators.
for rollerblading. I'm like, if you like rollerblading, fucking go for it, man.
Yeah, go live your life.
Yeah.
What now? Going back to the thing with Sam, really quick. So, just to give people some context, it felt like, from what I got from the interview, was that you guys had beef, then somehow it was squashed, and you guys were having it all out on the radio, and then something else surfaced after the fact where you were like, oh man, like I thought we had worked this out. And
Oh wow. Wait, I'm explaining the whole story of this right now.
no, you don't have to, but
I mean, okay,
I-
Opie and Anthony. I said something about him on the Opie and Anthony show.
not knowing him, just
No,
you
I
were-
just was like, he's not very good. You know what I mean, pissing contest, Jason.
sure,
But I was always saying nice stuff about Opie and Anthony because I thought that they were good.
yeah.
I mean, I didn't think his intern was very good. You
Right.
know, maybe he wasn't at the time.
Of course, it happens.
Anyway, it wasn't my business to say that, but that was my thing. I just always said anything I thought. You know, now I kind of, it's sad, but now I will kind of like think sometimes and go, man, it's not worth it. And then I just go, well, fucking, I forgot what I was going to say.
Yeah, it's
And I
easier
just-
to be quiet.
Yeah, because now it's like these little, I see into the future because I've done this wrong so many times.
Yeah.
This nitpicking back and forth thing where I start spending hours worrying about your ass. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you get paid so much money to talk. Go home and swim in your pool.
We're all
Go hang out with
rich.
your kids. Don't think about them. So that's, and then knowing that's their thing. Like,
Yeah.
they're like, they can deny it, but they're bummed I don't fucking interact with them because it's fun to fuck with me.
Right.
I'm annoying too, so it's like easy to want to fuck with me. I say annoying stuff, but anyway, he just played the bit to them to make me look bad, so they attacked me. But they secretly always hated me and wanted to attack me, in my opinion, because I'm the new guy who's barking a lot about himself.
Yeah.
who says he's the future.
And do they feel that
And
maybe...
when I said I was the future, I didn't know I was actually referring to the future Howard Stern.
yeah,
That's who I was talking about.
the fucking Mount Rushmore.
That's
the
yeah,
great.
like that's where my ego was.
Yeah.
Like I thought I was like gonna be the king.
Do you think they were pissed because perhaps you didn't come up through the traditional channels of radio?
I never thought of that. Maybe
You had so much success.
I
I'm sure
think
there's a part
lots
of that.
reasons. As I've said before, that was the other thing that then it just seemed like I kept saying that I understand why they don't like me or why they find me to be annoying. I still think they're good at their job.
Yeah.
And it was just, fuck you faggot, X Games. And I was like, man, it just keeps going.
Oh, why do you have to fucking take it there?
And they go they didn't, because that's the thing, man. They'll go every single place they can, and then they'll pick the next name and do it to him.
But it's after you basically just like spouting off some like ridiculousness, you know, some you bloviating on fucking how great you are.
As I said, and I'll state again, I think I'm annoying. And I've said things like, who do you think's better? And I'm like, I'm the best. And they're like, better than Opie and Anthony? I'm like, I'm way better than I'm better than everybody. Why do you have to? But not realizing that back then when you say I'm the best and they go, better than Opie and Anthony, like you're supposed to say, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
Because I know what you're doing right there.
Right.
No, I'm better than everybody.
They're baiting
That's
you.
my plain. That's it. Like, don't make me point out people but back then I would be like, yeah, oh yeah, well then yeah, I'm better than him. But it was weird because I would say, am I better than Howard Stern? Yes. But that never got to anybody. That never affected Howard because I'm not on his radar because he knows he's wiser. It's not worth it.
Right. It's just that good.
And
It's that
he's
good talk.
fortunate enough that he doesn't have to have a person to fight to make all his money. He's made it to another untouchable level.
He's on the peak.
So he can do his whatever thing that he's doing now. And you can like it or lump, doesn't make no difference, man.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, he can retire and his replays will beat us. Like everyone needs to just get over it.
Well, one thing that you said on that show with Sam, which was what I was going to say before, was you were talking about when you first, when your ex-wife was pregnant with your first child, and you were like, we're gonna have this kid, like what, like you want to do this, and then you're like, now it's the greatest thing that I ever did, but in the moment you couldn't believe that you were gonna be this dad. I mean, I'm sort of having that moment now too, where it's like I can't believe anyone's gonna allow me to be the father of something.
Yeah, well, I think you're in a way better position than I was.
Perhaps.
Yeah, and there you go. I handled it.
But tell me, like, because I'm getting it from a lot of guys right now in my life, and God bless them. They're like, dude, have your fucking dinners now. Go do what you want to do. It's going to be the greatest thing ever. But, bro. And I'm like, oh, my God. Like, I don't even know. I'm in such a state of, like, what is coming? And I'm excited, and I'm indifferent, and I'm also terrified. Prep me. Give me that prep.
There is none. It just comes out, and then you become a father.
It's natural, right?
Because I don't feel like you can prep all you want, or you can not prep all you want. If you plan on being the dad, like if you're not like just some shithead,
Right.
then as soon as it comes out, you just become a dad.
And is it everything people say?
What does everyone say?
That's the greatest.
It's terrible.
Is it?
Yeah, you don't sleep.
Oh, Jesus, I love sleeping.
Oh,
great at it.
You'll never sleep again.
Ah, fuck.
I wake up. My daughter's on vacation. My wife's on painkillers with a broken back. I could wake up at lunchtime if I wanted to. I wake up at 6:30,
Ready to go.
ready to go for nobody. It's done. It's programmed in me now.
Yeah, you just got
You're a
it.
father for life.
Yeah.
Stay up until 2 a.m. You're waking up at 7.
There's work to be done.
Not even if there isn't.
You just
That's
can't.
what I'm saying. I can't sleep in.
What?
Children ruined it.
Are you always worried?
Took my hair, everything. No, it's just I sleep light now. I'm a morning person because you have to be.
Yeah,
Gotta
take
get
them to
everybody
school.
ready.
Do you worry nonstop?
No.
No? You're pretty good with that stuff?
I mean, I worry. I've always over worried, so I work on that a lot. And my kids are pretty safe.
Yeah.
You know, they're really smart. So far, nobody's showing any signs of moronic behavior to the point of death.
Not yet.
Nobody's really like me, so when it comes to that, so I'm pretty safe. My son is an athletic guy, but he's cautious. He's not like,
Right.
he doesn't have like some weird thing to prove. some weird burning fire from some shit that happened to him when he was a child. Like,
And that's different from you as a child,
yeah,
for
so
sure.
it's just so less like concerning for me because I can tell they're just like the day.
And isn't that an interesting thing too? In that, like, you have these kids, and I'm sure in so many ways they're you, and then they're very much their own person, completely separated from who you were as a kid, and they have all this logic and healthy fear and
Yeah, I
boundary.
mean, you gotta. I'm sure if they grew up in Australia with just me, and I hadn't moved here, then maybe they'd be a lot more similar to.
Totally different life.
Yeah, it's just it's so many years later and so many life lessons. I copied my ex-wife. I watched them. I watched her parents
Yeah,
be parents. I'd never seen that before.
right.
So I straight up copied them for the first couple of years, like what to do, what to say. I just copied whatever the fuck they were saying when I was around at their house. 'Cause I lived with them for a while too.
That's huge. I mean, I never met my pops, and my mom is the best, but my wife has like a very healthy family structure with siblings and like a great dad. And I'm just picking up things from him left and right.
Right.
And because he he has that quiet leadership thing to him where he doesn't have to like flex, he doesn't have to show that he knows best. He just quietly does the right thing all the time. I'm like, Jesus, man, that's the way.
Yeah, well, good luck.
Yeah, we'll see. Oh, fuck. So you grew up outside of Melbourne,
No, in Melbourne.
in like city proper?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, suburbs.
Okay.
And then I always went to the bush on the weekends riding dirt bikes because they didn't have dirt bike tracks in Australia. There was just you got your bike and you put it on a trailer and you drove out into the bush and you rode around. You make a fire, get a tent.
And I've read your book, and from the way it sounds is that you sort of had kind of no rules from the very beginning. You were sort of free to do as you pleased.
I mean, when I was a little kid, there was rules. I just feel like my stepmother, when she came into play, there was a lot more because she was trying to teach her kids to be citizens.
Structure.
So yeah. So every now and then I would be put in that because otherwise I would be setting a bad example for those future citizens.
Yeah.
So I was a part of that. Don't do this, don't do that. I remember that, but I just things were. Man, it's not that long ago, but things we were way harsher. Like everyone just smoked weed and drank and did. When I was really young, because before my stepmom was around, shit was way harsher. Like boyfriends were doing hit smack and offering me meth and shit.
Like when you were 7, right?
Yeah,
Didn't
no,
you tell on
no,
your mom's
yeah, I told
boyfriend?
my mom because I didn't know what meth was, but I knew that he had offered me something that you're not supposed to offer. I think I was like 10 or something.
To keep you, like, because there was a
I was
party,
tired
right?
and I wanted to go home, so he tried to give me some meth so I'd stay awake.
Jesus, fuck.
So my mom could stay at the party. Yeah,
And you told on him right away.
I ratted him out straight away.
Straight away.
Yeah.
And if you had been a 10-year-old on Tweak, it probably would have just made the party that much worse.
I wonder if a 10-year-old's heart can even take that, man.
Man, they're
You know,
pretty
like,
resilient
might have
creatures.
killed me.
Might have. And
Maybe
then,
just a little bit. Maybe he was just gonna give me a little key bump or something. I don't know.
yeah, a respectable,
But those,
a
even
child's dose.
Even many years later, when Devin was like 3 years old, I talked to my mum in a mall about that. Just brought it up to her in Australia when I came back one year. And she was like, look, he was in a bad way back then. And I was like, are you fucking seriously defending him at this point in the game, Mum? Like, fuck, I've got a kid. You know what I mean? Like, I think I might have been pushing her in a stroller. I was like,
Right.
what the? And I could just see it in her face that she just didn't see it. Like she didn't see it that way.
Is that part of her nature, like
Yeah.
with all
Yeah, 'cause
people?
She still doesn't see it that way.
And what is that? Like a forgiving
I don't know.
side?
I don't think it's that. I think it's you
Shut off.
You can't admit how bad it is.
It's funny because my mom and I, my mom was always the greatest, but we had tough times and grew up fucking broke and destitute at times. And sometimes I'll bring that up because it's part of my story now. And I feel like once you get a little bit, like for me, what I suffered from as a kid was powerlessness, that I hated, that we didn't have money and I couldn't do anything about it. And then now, as I've gotten older, I'll bring, sometimes I'll bring that stuff up, and my mom's reaction is always, Josh, you exaggerate. It wasn't that bad.
Right.
Like, it sucked sometimes, but for her, as super mom, she can't allow it to be that it was tough.
Both my mum and my stepmom said the same thing when the book was out, that I was like, it's pretty harsh, like what you said. And I was like, yeah. I'm like, it's not a lie. And she's like, yeah, it's not a lie. So it just doesn't seem like there's any good parts in there. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I will admit to that. It's funny how book people don't want to hear about the good parts of your life.
Right.
I was like,
Making me sandwiches.
yeah, for
and
some
shit.
weird reason, they really like they're doing heroin with people and being left in a park and stuff.
Yeah, well-
Over, I really enjoyed that one day I went to the motocross track with my dad because they weren't trying to play. There's not enough pages to tell the whole story. They just want the gritty bits.
Yeah. Well, speaking of your dad, I mean, you have that great story of your dad running from the police and then chasing him on both
Right?
sides.
Yeah. Always doing stuff like that.
Is there like one in particular that you could share with the people that they, I mean, he was a character.
Yeah, it's weird because he wasn't really like a character, as in like he didn't talk a lot. He was shy. Would never talk into a microphone or anything. But I mean, when he drank, he was in a car or on a motorcycle. He probably the most dangerous person still to this day that I've ever seen. Just no.
Possessed.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Just all the thing, I think one time he was got to be fucking like 9 or 10, and he had a Ferrari Dino. So it wasn't like the top Ferrari, because that was like, in Australia, having a Ferrari Dino was like you were out of control that he had this car. And it was out the front of his, I think it was out the front of, there was a party at my stepmom's parents' house or some shit. And there's all these dudes just drunk, and I remember him, take the Ferrari for a spin, Steve. So he does a demo for everybody out the front of the street.
Yeah.
And he's super hammered, and he's doing 360s in the middle of the street and flying by, and then he's doing 360s, comes flying and parks on the side of the road and like hits the tire on the side of the curb, and jumps out of the car and falls out of the car and just starts vomiting from spinning around in the car. And I remember thinking, like, everyone's like, "Wow, good one, Steve." You know what I mean? I'm like, right on, Dad. Like,
Oh, Jesus.
thinking, my dad's the man. Like, he can barely see and he can drive like that. Like, it's just because that was, your dad's the man, Jay. And I'm like, I know, right?
Hi, this is Angela at the Curious Ad Department. We've just got a little advertisement for you, so we're going to jump right into that because the water is just fine. Robinhood, what is it? It's an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs options, and cryptos all commission-free. They strive to make financial services work for everyone, not just the wealthy, because let's be honest, the wealthy, they got enough, all right? Come on, what about the everyman? What about us over here, all right? Trying to accrue some wealth, trying to build, compound. They've got a non-intimidating way for stock market newcomers to invest for the first time with true confidence. And here's the value of the Robinhood app. There's no commission, no costs. Other brokerages, they charge up to $10 for every trade, but Robinhood doesn't charge commission fees. Trade stocks, keep all your profits. Plus the design, it's easy to use, baby. Easy to understand charts and market data. Place a trade in just 4 taps on your smartphone. That's huge. And you just learn. You learn how to invest as you build your portfolio. So look, Robinhood is giving listeners a free stock like Apple. Heard of it? Ford, I know it, or Sprint. Yeah, okay, yeah, to help build your portfolio. Sign up at curious.robinhood.com. That's curious.robinhood.com. Did you vacillate between being like proud of like my dad's a badass and also like, fuck, something about this is off? Or were you not aware of it right away?
No, I think by the time I was like 12 or 13, I started to not have as good of opinion of him in front of other people.
Yeah.
and I don't know where. I think maybe my mother. I know my mother and some of her friends were hating on him a lot, so they would always get in my ear. It's back when people didn't know any better, and you just like told kids and fought in front of kids and said, don't do as I don't. What was it?
Yeah.
Fucking when he had
Do
the
what I
beer-
say, not as I do.
Yeah, and he had, like, as he was speeding down the freeway in a fucking Corvette with nitrous oxide and a beer and a joint.
Snorting or huffing the
joint-
nitrous oxide?
no.
Oh,
The
no, for the
nitro's
car.
in the car.
Gotcha. All right.
And he's got a beer and a joint. He's like, do as I say, Jay, not as I do. And I was like, I'm gonna grow up and be just like you. Like, this looks so cool.
And did you? I mean, to a certain
Yeah,
point.
fuck yeah. I've done that 1,000 times.
Do you find yourself even now like?
Not anymore.
Have you?
But in
completely...
Australia, I fully did that, man. I did that shooting guns out the window.
Well, because what's our father? I mean, there, in some way, like there's that great line for Fight Club, which is that like our fathers are our framework for God. And so, like, if our fathers leave, what does that say about God? And I always think about that because I didn't have a dad. But, like, if it's true that they're our framework for God, like, what does that I mean? I don't even know. I don't know what it is to have a dad and how you look at them.
I mean, look, I don't know what it's like because I don't have a normal dad, my dad's not, I did look at him as a god, but he's not. And I don't know if maybe if he didn't do the things he did to me, maybe some other child at my age could see his father still as like a godlike person.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't believe in God. And
Your whole life?
No.
Never. Do you think
I mean,
that
I've tried before from people trying to, suggest it. Just like I've tried to be everything, actually, probably at
Really?
one point. Yeah, I've given everything a go.
Judaism? I could help.
No, my ex-wife became Jewish, and that one actually bummed me out. It actually kind of bummed me out about Jewish people.
Tell me everything.
Okay. So when we broke up, she went out with this guy who was Jewish, and I'm like, cool. Like, I've known of Jewish people my whole existence. They're in Australia, and I'm like, great. They don't register as anything but just a person to me.
White people.
I've always had that. You could be Italian. Doesn't count. You don't count.
Yeah.
A black person counted because I hadn't seen one. So when I came to America, I was like, whoa. But that's as far as it goes. Black people aren't a certain way. They don't do a certain thing different than anybody else. They're just, he's got crazy dark skin. That's the end of it.
Right.
So I've never had that. Luckily, my father was never had that in him. I never heard.
You said that was one thing he definitely wasn't.
Never heard him like say something bad about an Asian or you know what I mean? Like, I mean, there was like Aboriginal jokes in Australia.
Now,
but my father wouldn't even say. My father never told jokes. Like, he was not.
He seems pretty stoic almost.
Yeah, he didn't say shit.
Did you? This is going to be a dumb American statement. I feel like abos are sort of black people, right?
They're straight up black people.
Okay, that's what I thought. So you did.
And Abo is racist now in Australia.
Word? Okay,
yeah, I didn't know.
I take it all back.
We didn't know.
Yeah.
You didn't know, and I didn't know until like a year ago. Someone in Australia told me when they were here, and I was like, oh, fuck, sorry, man.
Yeah, people don't like
He
abbreviations.
wasn't Aboriginal, so it didn't matter.
But you had interaction with Aboriginals growing up, no?
Yeah, but in the bush and stuff, so it's different,
Right.
I wasn't like hanging out with them. They're just like drunk at the pub or out the front, huffing paint or something. Wasn't a good look.
They got a rough.
Yeah, because they gave him like the Indian deal or something. They gave him they just give him a car and some money every month or some shit. So they were like, fuck it, we'll just be trashed.
Do you think that the God thing is perhaps what impeded you with the sobriety aspect? At least if you tried the whole 12 steps of it all?
No, because the first time it did. Because, I went to a meeting and everyone holding hand. I'm like, what the fuck? God? I'm like, oh my God, I'm so out of here. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Because I think at one point, like, I was like, hey, Satan, like, if you want my soul to be a pro skateboarder, let's go. Like, I was way more that guy. I was always into evil shit.
Yeah.
I still am. I just am way less in fear of any of it. Like, I would love to meet a ghost. I would love for a ghost hunter to show me a fucking ghost. I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in gods. I don't fucking believe in any of it. You ain't got no videos. You ain't got no proof. It's always, oh, look at this video. And I'm like, why does it look like shit? I'll tell you why, because it's shit. It's not real.
Or like when people, and I'm glad that they get a little bit of relief from it when someone passes away and they'll be like, there was a lightning strike or their photo fell down in my house, and I'm like, that's just a coincidence. It doesn't mean anything. I just don't think the dead are presenting themselves.
They're not. It's
They're
sad
not.
because if it was, then I'd be way less scared of dying. We have to stop for 1 second.
Yeah,
As
please,
someone's
please. So ready.
Yeah.
So you were saying how, so you don't think that the God thing impeded you with the sobriety
No,
of it all?
because the next time I went to AA was with Dak Shepard and all those people.
So like the celebrity.
Yeah, some room, a room of like everybody I've ever ever heard of is there, and I'm like,
Jesus.
oh my god, I didn't.
Secret club.
Yeah, and it was like really cool at first because I was like, I can't believe I'm in this room with all these people, and they all seem like normal people.
Yeah.
But then as time goes on, I'm like, they're not normal people at all. Like, they're out of their fucking minds. Everybody in here is out of their fucking mind. I'm like,
100%.
God damn it. It's not, you know what I mean? It's like the disease is like, that you're an asshole. You know what I mean? It's just like you're all just assholes and you're all self-medicating to try and get yourself to be easier to deal with everybody else who isn't an asshole.
I think that's right. I mean, well, the one thing that I see too is when some people are just fucking assholes and not drunks and
Right.
not drug addicts, I go, I feel bad for you.
Right, it's not helping you.
There's no helping. There's no program for people like you. But then even, and this is always, when I see in sobriety or 12-step programs from people, there can be, it's a microcosm of the world. So there are a couple great people, a few okay people, and mostly shitheads.
Right.
And I'm always amazed when there's like some drama or some act on people. Like, can you believe they acted this way? I'm like, hold please. We're the fucking dregs of society.
I know.
Like 100 years ago, we'd be fucking on the side of the and inevitably, like, there are no new ancient truths, right? So like 12-step programs, any good spirituality when it's done right, and rarely is it, it's like very simple. It's like clean up your past so you can get out of fucking self. The more you think about self, the more unhappy you will be. And fucking once you clean your life up, help other people and make that like 95% of your fucking
It's
life.
the routine of it all.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
but
If
we
you
need
commit
routine.
to the routine, then you won't be a fuck up.
Right.
There's not even any time to be a fuck up because I can tell the people that have the worst addictions are the ones that are the most militant. And because if they keep going doing their routine,
Yeah.
there's no time to do meth. Like they just go to every fucking like meeting, they drive around doing meetings and they talk to the people that are from meetings. Like I know those people. They're actually the most helpful to me. To me, in my opinion, if I had had a different sponsor, maybe I'd still be sober. I just felt like you know what I mean. It's not you're supposed to just figure it out by yourself is maybe not such a good idea.
It's definitely not. I mean, it's not something that happens right away for many people either. And my buddy always says this, which I love, is that you'll hear sometimes when people say, like, God, did you hear about Jimmy? He fucking went out. He drank. He's like, don't be surprised when an alcoholic drinks. He's like, that's what we fucking do. Yeah. We are built for that. Be surprised when someone stays sober because that's against our fucking makeup.
Yeah.
Now you talked about your father, like, will you tell the story about how you sort of, when you were on your ecstasy trip and kind of realized some things had happened to you?
Which one, MDMA therapy or
the one originally when you were in the pool with your girlfriend?
Okay, that was everything. That wasn't just ecstasy. That was like meth and ecstasy, and then I took this Sudafed shit as well. And in Australia, that has meth in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Because they took it off the shelves here. Sudafed.
Yeah, well, this was a long time ago too, but in Australia you could just get it under the counter.
Ah, dream.
And then I think I might have done acid as well. I was doing all kinds of stuff that
You're on
night.
a good one.
Yeah, and then I wouldn't get out of the pool in the hotel, and everybody left, and my girlfriend stayed, and then I had an imaginary friend that was talking to me in the pool.
Just what'd they look like?
I don't remember. I don't remember any of this.
Really?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I don't remember shit. I was just telling my girlfriend at the time about, I guess my imaginary friend was telling me that I was molested when I was a kid by my father. And I was telling Libby this story, and she was like, what, really?
While you're on one, in the middle of it.
And I was dead serious, though.
And originally you didn't think it was your dad, right? You thought it was...
Well, up until then, I didn't know I was molested.
But Wasn't it at first? Didn't your
Originally,
mom
it was
say?
my dad, and I was like, it can't be, because that's the imaginary friend told me that it was my father, and then my girlfriend told my mum the next day, and she was like, "Oh my God, I thought he would never remember that," and Libby was like, "What? It's true?" And she's like, "Yeah, but not the father thing. I mean, he said that it was his father, but you know, what I mean,
It was a
we had a
neighbor?
babysitter that had red hair." So we just like assumed that it was the babysitter.
Jesus.
And then, you know, I mean, after years and like recent, like when I was 40, realizing that it was dad, and then asking all them this backstory of like it was the neighbor that was like accused, and my father went over there and like talked to him and threatened him
No.
and didn't do anything.
That poor neighbor.
And I'm like, my dad knocked people out for cutting him off on the freeway. I saw it like a bunch of times, not
He
one
would have
time.
murdered that guy if he had really done it.
If he molested his son,
yeah,
he'd
would have
be
been
dead.
over. Done.
I mean, I felt like, I don't know for sure, but that guy that offered me crystal meth wasn't around anymore.
Really.
I don't know. I just I
I'm
know
gonna
that my
go with
dad. I
that.
know. I found out
I'm
that my
gonna
father
believe it.
took a couple of days off work when he found out.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Did you
Which is confusing as fuck.
did you ever confront him about it? Your
Yeah.
dad?
Yeah. No, the first when I did the when I first the imaginary friend guy, and then it's weird when someone tells you the next day, and then you start to remember stuff, and then
How does it come back? Is it
you
like
just see
snapshots?
yeah, like so to put it bluntly, the dick showed up. Didn't have a face though. Didn't have a face until I did MDMA therapy when I was like 42 or something.
And why did you do that? You just were.
Because these people that I know, the ayahuasca people,
Yeah.
talking about MDMA therapy, saying that you can remember all this stuff, and saying, these hallucinogens, like, I'm absolutely positive that the reason that I recalled that the imaginary friend was telling me that I was molested was because I was on hallucinogens, and you can connect to it.
Helps you work through
You
some
just
shit.
No, you just remember. You can remember your past things that you blocked out. You
Yikes.
can remember if you're on it. So when I did the MDMA therapy, well, anyway, I saw my dad the next day, and he goes, I'm leaving the house, and he goes, "Do you think you got molested?" I was like, "Yeah." "Do you think it was me?" I was like, "Nah." He's like, "Ah." And then that was it. Never talked about it ever again.
And at this time, you're 42.
No, that
was
when
early.
I was like 20.
But then once it came to be and you knew for
Many
sure.
years later, when I was 40, I went to rehab, and I did the meditation thing or whatever it is, because I had therapies in there, like a bunch of therapists and all this other shit.
Past life work.
Well, they made me remember some stuff, and then they were like, "Well, what about when did you ever talk to your father about it?" And I was like, "Yeah," and I brought up that interaction. She's like, "You don't think that's weird, being a father yourself?
Yeah.
That you just said no, and you said okay, and that was it. He never brought it up again." And I was like, "Come to think of it, because you just can't. Why would he do that to me? Why would I ever run a scenario in my head where my father did that to me?"
You couldn't allow
I didn't
yourself
do
to
it.
think that way.
So until that day where she kind of put a couple of things, like, just run those through your head as is you. Does that make sense to you? And I'm like, it doesn't make sense to me. And then I called my mom about it, and my mom was like, "Oh, this could be weird." He was weird. And then, he did see him, and I'm like, "Wait, what?" And that was the other one. Like, he saw him. She's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "What happened?" "Oh, he was very angry." I'm like, "Wait, he didn't hit him?"
Yeah, this is the same dad.
And I'm like, "What the fuck is that?"
And so by then you must have been, it's locking in now, right? You're like,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
happened.
Yeah, and he's already dead, so.
Oh, he was already
My
gone
father's
by that
dead, yeah, he
point.
died, like, I think like 2002 or something. So yeah, he was already dead. But when I brought that up to my stepmom, she was like, "There's no way that's true." And my brother was against me. My other brother died the same year as my dad.
Yeah.
So my brother's now against me, and
How do you,
I'm like, "Dude, did you think I would make this up?" And then I went back as Rafik and was like, "We got to patch this up. We got to be cool." I go back to Australia, and I drank, and I was trying not to do, I was really trying not to do stuff, and I drank, and he did blow in front of me.
Your brother.
Yeah. And then he's like, I'm pretty sure that you made up that you were molested to be famous so you could get on Howard Stern. And then you made up that it was dad to get your ex-wife back.
To get your ex-wife back? What was the
yeah.
reasoning there?
I don't know. And especially the first one, because I brought up that I was molested. You know what I mean? Like, I knew that when I was 24. He just didn't know because I didn't tell him.
Yeah.
Because why would I tell my little brother that I was molested? Like,
Yeah, who wants to
you're a
talk
little-
about it?
Yeah, and I lived in America. I didn't tell anybody, man, until I got a radio show, and then all of a sudden, like, now that's like, people think I just brought it up yesterday. Like, no, I just showed up on the radar yesterday, but this story has existed for some time now. And then that was probably as depressed as I've ever been after that. I went back to America. I was so dark on Australia. I haven't been back since.
You haven't been back since you were in your 20s?
Since that discussion when my brother did that. That was probably like 4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So then, I did this MDMA therapy as well. That was right before I saw Lee and found out more about what my father had done. Like, I started to see other things because I always knew that there was a time where I held underneath the bed. I had the bed springs and I had my hands and my toes in the springs so that my back was off the ground.
Fuck off.
So I was like holding myself under the mattress,
Oh.
and I remember like a heat lamp coming into the room, and I always remember that. And I don't know why. I knew it was my dad that had the heat lamp, but I thought he was coming in because I was like having a nightmare. That's just all I could remember from a long time ago. But then when I did this MDMA shit, then I started to like remember he would come in there before that, and I used to sleep with my face down, my hands under the pillow, and he would do stuff to me, and I would just pretend I was asleep. And then it got to the point where I would go under the bed, and then I remember, like, I could even see it where I could see the lamp, and I was under there just saying, please don't, or something. And then the lamp went away, and then that made me, and then it didn't end there. Like, I went with him, realizing that he heard his son say, please don't, and went back away and realized that he'd done something wrong. Because I feel like it's just this time where that dude can't stop doing it to anybody. Because I have that thing, like, I'm not attracted to kids or my kids, but I will sleep with anybody. I want to sleep with anybody. I've always had that thing, like girls, guys. You know what I mean? Like, if
What do
you're
you think
into,
that is?
I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely like I don't know what the name, you're pansexual or whatever it
But
is.
is that also, I mean, there's an addictive quality to that
yeah.
too, right? Then an
Yeah.
insatiable
I had to
thirst.
do like therapy for the people that I sleep with now. I have to like double check myself to be like, do I really want to sleep with this person?
Right, or do I
are
want to
you just-
escape?
Are you just, yeah.
Hi, how are you? Guess what's coming now? It's an advertisement. How exciting!
Guys, what is HelloFresh? Well, it goes a little something like this. It goes, HelloFresh, it's a simple meal kit delivery service. Yo, they should pick me to make their theme song. I don't know what they're thinking. Anyway, it's a meal kit delivery service that shops, plans, and delivers step-by-step recipes and pre-measured ingredients you could just cook, eat, and enjoy. They've got 3 plans to choose from: classic, veggie, and family. And you can look forward to your HelloFresh delivery knowing dinner just got that much easier. All the ingredients come pre-measured in handy, labeled meal kits so you know which ingredients go with which recipe. And here's the best part: spend less time meal planning and grocery shopping each week and get that time back to do more of what you love. Yo, recently they had beef taco pizza, y'all. Beef taco pizza. Can you imagine that? Beef? Yes. Tacos? Mm-hmm. Pizza? Please. That's like 3 perfect things in a delicious toasted flatbread type thing. It was a dream. It was delightful, guys. Anyway, good news. I think you know what's coming. For a total of $60 off, that's $20 off your first 3 boxes. Visit HelloFresh.com/Curious60 and enter Curious60. That's $20 off your first 3 boxes. Visit HelloFresh.com/Curious60 and enter Curious60. Now, how about we have a podcast? Great. Let's listen. So how do you have you forgiven? How
Well, that
do you
was the
forgive?
rest of the MDMA therapy where
Yeah.
I sort of started to see his side of things, and I'm pretty sure his father did it to him, and then I thought, I mean, he lived with a lot of stress. I'm absolutely positive that my father lived with a lot of stress. I saw it in his eyes every night. He was a dark person. I'm pretty sure he was a bi guy as well. That like was from another era where I mean he was
Couldn't be that way then.
Fuck no, that
No.
would be the anxiety of somebody finding out. Because in the end, before he died, he was doing live sex shows.
Really?
Yeah, and all this stuff behind my stepmom's back and shit.
But what
Which
does
is,
that-
I guess she found out like a year ago and called me and was like, "Look, I didn't know about the live sex show stuff, and now that I've heard that, your story does seem to make a lot more sense." And I was like, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're cool now,
This-
but it's where I'll never be cool with
This isn't
anybody
fucking
the same anymore.
Yeah, this isn't fucking cold case here. I mean, there was
Everything's-
more than enough evidence to link.
Everything's changed. I feel like I don't blame anybody, but I feel like if you had paid attention for a second, you probably would have saw it.
Did you? And then, so do you feel?
But then I feel sorry for him, so it takes away from the anger towards him.
Well, that's the only answer, right? You have to feel sorry eventually.
because there's an anger in there, like there's a psychotic anger in there. I just don't entertain it anymore.
Does that anger ever present itself in anything?
Uh,
Ever come out? No, you can't.
I have a temper that I have to control all the time, but that's not the one that anyone has to worry about.
Where does your temper come out? Because I know you've had some good rants on your show about your bosses or certain things.
Man, those days are so gone. Like, 'cause they're still stupid. I just don't care anymore. I'm like, whatever, fuck me over. It's business.
But-
I see everybody's point, everybody's reason. Like, that's why I don't hate any radio people or anything, because I'm like, I get your point. I know what you're doing. I get it.
It's funny. I was listening to Mark Maron's podcast, and he was saying how he had a resentment towards Lauren Michaels for 20 years because he interviewed him for SNL and said some weird shit to him and made him wait, and he felt like he wasn't handled properly.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, you know what I finally fucking realized was that he's a guy in an office doing a job. Like, he's not some god. I mean, yes, he's super successful and he's done something really cool, but he's just a fucking guy worried about next week's show, trying to put like the best thing he can. And I think that's important. It's like humanizing everyone.
Yeah. I mean, if I can't humanize it, then I'm out of the room. That's my new thing. I mean, celebrity people have a different. I don't want to. There was a thing there where all of a sudden they liked me when they came on the show. They'd be like, "Hey, man, here's my number," and I'm like, "What? Why?" Weird. Yeah, and I had like celebrity friends. Oh, this guy's a laugh. He's great.
And they suck. They'll drain you good.
I don't. You don't really like me. This is a fake friendship we're having.
Right.
And maybe somebody who doesn't know me might think I'm cool for it. And I wanted to be cool because I wanted to get paid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was a time there where I just wanted to be famous. I didn't want to get paid. And now I got older and I got wiser. And now I'm like, I don't even really want to be that paid. I mean, I like what I make right now, but I'm scared of making, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My manager would kill me if he heard this, but I don't want to make $20 million a year. I'm like, what does that entail?
Well, it's so much work.
Everybody I see that makes $20 million they have like a weird life.
So much work.
And they don't have a life where they have like, I could be wrong. Look, I could be wrong, but they
No,
don't.
I think you're
look
right.
At their kids in the eye.
They
and
don't.
And be people to them. And that's my only job left, man. Like, I'm done. You know what I mean? My business is done here. I'm like, can I help you, kids? I know I'm a wreck dad. He's done so many bad things, and he's had an ugly past, and he talks funny, and I'm not an educated man. I'm not good at math or any of that stuff.
No.
But if there's anything you need that I can give you, I'm here for you.
But that's fucking
it.
everything.
I
That's
can't
why
do
you're a
any-
good
you know what I mean?
person, or at least.
I'm not that good of a person.
Well,
I'm just.
I'm gonna venture to say it, and maybe you'll fake it till you make it. But I also look at, because I similarly, I look at just like generationally. Like, my grandfather was a fucking drunk who raged and ate and smoked 10 cigars a day and lit his factory on fire for the insurance money and was a real piece piece of shit from what I know. And he died at 50, like drop dead, done. And so he left my mom and my uncle to fend for themselves. And my mom then struggled and had a really tough life, but did the best she could and much better than her dad did, but still flawed and had all the shit that people
It's
have.
a reaction. Like what you're saying right there is like his fuck up made your mum get off her ass.
Yeah,
I mean, but that's not like, oh, then I'll fuck up and my kid. No, because they're more likely to just be a fuck up as well.
right.
But you got two choices.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like for me, everybody has, you got two. You can do what your parents did, or you can break off and be your own person. And depending on what your parents are,
Right.
it should have a lot to do with your decision on that.
But look at this. Like I look at my mom, and then she gave me everything she didn't have, and so God knows I had my shit. And 300 pounds at 14, I was definitely fucking.
You're 300 pounds at 14?
Yeah, I was running from something.
God.
I was good and fat, and then
Wow, that is like gonna die fat.
like bad knees fat at 14.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah,
Good for you.
and it was on television too, so you can imagine that whole head fuck. But
Yeah.
But then now, like, and I'm not without my shit, but I'm going to have a kid, and that kid has a chance at only having, like, a healthy amount of dysfunction, like the normal amount.
Kind of helps you with your shit, though, because you just care less about it.
100%.
They
And
just take this whole thing off you, and now it's on them. Like, now you
Yeah.
spend hours thinking about what are they thinking.
we're, like, writing the wrongs of our past.
Kind of.
A little bit through the kid. I mean, I feel like
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
it.
dude, like like you said, if you had it a little rough or you saw mistakes, because it comes with age too. Like I feel like I got, with my kid, every year they get older, I will recollect a thing that happened when I was that age and be like, oh my God,
Yeah.
like how could they do that?
Yeah.
But I'm like, man, they didn't mean it because they didn't know any better. Nobody told them any better.
Right.
So I will not do that one. I'll remember that. Like I used to. There was times where I used to smoke weed in the garage, and every now and then I would have this vision, and I'm smoking weed, and the kids, Devin was like little, like 2 or something, and I would just recollect, photos that I saw because I don't remember everything when I was 2, or it was just mayhem around me. You know what I mean? Like utter mayhem.
Yeah, it was insanity.
But you weren't a bad parent. I think a lot of kids were like crawling around while there was like cigarettes and joints and bongs and maybe a couple people shooting up heroin in the background.
It happens.
It happened more back then.
Fuck, I mean, but that's like the balance too, right? Because we've sort of had these checkered paths, and you much more than me. But similarly, I think about like my kid's gonna grow up with financial security and fucking 2 parents, hopefully, and like all these things. And I go like, how am I gonna light the fire under their ass?
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm
I
worried
bet.
about that. That's why she doesn't have a phone right now. I took it off her.
Really? Yeah, you got to
Fucking
draw
around,
those
man.
lines.
Spending too much time on the phone, looking at your ass probably on Instagram with all
What can
her
I say?
girlfriends. Yeah, so people like you are ruining my daughter's life.
Fuck,
Nah.
it's not me. It's those fucking IG
It's
personalities.
everybody.
Oh, man.
It's everything. I get it, but they don't.
I have
you
a
know?
thing against like convenience, like Postmates and shit. I feel like are ruining people's lives.
Yeah, I love Postmates, but
I love it too, and I don't mean to
does
talk
make you
shit about
lazy.
that. Well, I just find that people that are younger than me, teens and whatnot, the convenience.
oh, okay, right.
Like they have
Because
everything.
they don't know what it's like to actually go get stuff.
Yeah, like go get a coffee. And I hate when kids will say like, I have social anxiety. First of all, that's a big thing now. It's like just because there's a name for it doesn't mean it's okay to have. So like maybe you wouldn't have social anxiety if you went and bought that coffee and had 5 minutes of small talk with the fucking checkout guy.
I know it's really selfish, but every time I hear that, I try to tell my kids that that's a good thing because it's just less people that are going to have their shit together, and you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Like you worry about you get up, get off, don't be on the phone all day, get your shit together.
Right.
And then you won't be like an anxious, fragile fucking phone nerd. You'll like be like, yeah, I'm aware of how those things work, but I also have a life, so I'll take the job.
Yeah, you're tough.
Like I just like if you. You don't have a choice.
Yeah, you got to
Like, she doesn't
endow
want to
them.
be in the gym today in the sun, but I don't care.
Right, she'll
There's
be
certain
thanking you for
things,
that.
Like I said, I got to stay here for certain things like that. Like, oh, you want to slip? You want to hang out and eat Cheetos? Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Then we're going to the gym every day. You're drinking water. You're not on your phone. Like, shit is going to change. You get up, you're going to get your shit together, and then you can have a phone, because that's what people that have phones, they have their shit together. They have to get a job, and then they have to pay the money for the phone, and then they have a bill they have to pay every month.
Right.
And you have to have a job for that.
Look at you. Super dad over here.
Yeah, no, seriously flexing right now. You've caught me in
I like that.
I'm peaking right now. I'm her worst nightmare, but we're friends from it. We've become friends.
Well, they'll appreciate it, or so I've heard.
We're cool right now.
Yeah, I bet. So
I suck a little bit, but all around, I'm pretty cool. That's big to me.
I think that's the goal. Just suck a little
I think
bit.
she's happy because she hasn't used the phone.
100%. Well, it gives you that like inherent FOMO, like someone's living a better life than me right
Because
now.
it's only people posting the better part.
The best part, no one's taking a photo when they're fucking hugging the toilet bowl the next morning, throwing up from the club they were at last night.
Everybody's angle is like the craziest, best adjusted shape, lighting,
Fucking Facetune.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I see girls who would like pull their waist in or like do their face
Yeah.
up, and I'm like, but you know, you live in the world where I can see you. I know this isn't
it's
you.
weird, right? When they do the thing where I'm like, but I know you don't. I know you made yourself look thinner.
100%.
Why are you doing that?
Or like, I'm amazed too when someone's like 60 pounds heavier than the photos that they have on
Yeah,
Instagram.
wow, that's crazy.
What about for you, as you've said, like being sort of having this insatiable thirst to hook up with people and whatnot? I'm sure social media has added a whole other level, because now it allows people to go directly to you, like slip in your DMs. And
I'm really not that. I mean, I'm old. I'm not that attractive. It's not really that like, and I'm not
Crazy.
I mean, it's not like 6 million guy over here.
Come on.
It's not that much. Like I got a Grinder account, man, and that's probably I get bombarded on that, but nobody recognizes me.
I mean, it seems with Grindr, people get straight to the point.
Yeah, that's usually what I like, because well, it's funny because things have changed now. I don't really hook up on it. I'm kind of looking for somebody.
A bud?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so it kind of changes everything now. So now I'm just on there and people are like, here's my dick, what's up? And I'm like, oh, God. I don't say anything.
Can't we just talk?
I don't, well, because that's the other thing. Have you ever seen Boondock Saints?
Yeah, well, I've seen the documentary, but I've never seen the movie.
Okay, well, the dude what's his name?
Duffy?
Who's the really famous actor?
Oh, Willem Dafoe.
William Dafoe,
Yeah,
who
yeah.
plays the detective he's gay, but he hates gay people. And he's not gay, he just bangs gay people.
Okay.
That's what I'm like. I'm really not gay, and I don't want to I don't want to go shopping with you or something. Like I don't want to I don't dance to like ABBA and shit.
Fair.
You know what I mean? If you do, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
You don't have all the ultra common tropes or
It's very hard. I'm in the middle of trying to make an adjustment where I'm okay with kissing a guy. It still feels wrong.
Does it?
Yeah, because I'm new.
Just
man.
tactile because of the
Everything
beard
about
or
it. No, everything about it.
It's very different than kissing
Like
a woman.
leaning on me, like you like me. I'm like, oh God, it's still weird.
So you like sort of the separation of getting it done.
I did, but
You
now
did.
I mean that's because that used to be like I would just make people get it out of me and then get away.
Right.
And people on Grindr are into that.
Sure.
They fed the beast.
They thank you, right? Did
Yeah.
you-
Yeah. So it was really weird, but that made it keep going for a while too.
Now, I guess the question would be, if you're looking for a friendship or whatever, why on Grindr? Why not find it like a dude you like at the gym or somebody at,
Because I don't go to the gym. I don't hang out. The only people if I go to the gym, it's fighters.
so you're pretty isolated from people.
Yeah. Yeah, because I have to talk. I got to give everything I've got for 3 hours, and then I don't have anything else.
You don't want to talk, right?
Not really.
3 hours a day?
Kind of want to come home,
Do you think
work out in the backyard.
do you think that's why you have gotten so honest? Because if you're on for 3 hours a day and making compelling radio, you don't have a choice. You have to bare your fucking soul,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think I got it down a little better. I thought that it was the only way. I just had to keep telling people like every thought that I've ever had.
Right.
Now it's like a little less intense because I'm like, it's not that necessary.
Yeah.
But if it's like, if I think it's a good one that's worth people listening, then I'll say it. I don't care what it does to me. I'll say it.
Yeah, but you're not just doing it for the sake to say something.
No, not at all. Never.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely never. Like that's never even. It's because I have to.
Right.
Like
Do you
can't
think
stop it.
I'm interested? My buddy who's gay used to always say that, and he had been with men and women, and he would say there's something powerful about two men being together that he said is a very different energy than when you're with a woman. Do you find that to be true?
No. I mean,
Like
wait, a different.
animalistic, like two lions? No,
No, because it's like,
just people getting off.
because chicks are like that too.
Right.
You mean like I've had sex with chicks that are,
Had that energy.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I've had sex with guys that are like way more girly than the girl that I had sex with.
Sure.
You know? I don't know. I guess I've never had sex with like a giant man.
Bear.
Oh, I have. I mean, I've had giant bears blow me and stuff.
And what about and?
It's sweet. I like that.
It's great.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, if I like him, if he's a nice guy, sure.
Do you find, have you had, when hooking up on apps and stuff, have you had experiences that scared you or made you really uncomfortable?
I mean, not really. No, I'm the scariest person on Grindr, so
Yeah.
nobody scares me. No one's ever, Grindr's not a place where they're gonna jump me or something.
Right.
I've never had anybody like look like they're gonna do anything weird.
Yeah, everyone just wants to have a nice time and
Yeah,
be done with
you
it.
know what I mean, I'm trying to think.
Do you like having, I mean, there's everything I know of you because I've been a fan and listened, and I've always seen past the exterior to hear like when you talk about your kids and your life and to know that you're so, that you're deep and there's all like, there's a sensitivity to you. But I feel like someone who just met you would feel what you just said, like that you were intimidating, and is that intentional? Mm-hmm. What is that?
I mean, I didn't sit down and say that's what I'm gonna do, but I mean, my therapist seems to think that I designed myself so you would stay away.
And that's all from being a kid. And
I think so. I think I am trying to grow up to look like the person that can protect child me from the shit that nobody could protect me from.
right.
It's like if my father tried to do it now,
It'd be
things
fucking
would be
over.
different.
Do you think that there's, because I know that you also did like all the tattoos later in life as well.
No. I used to have a lot of tattoos. Just I never had them where you could see them because I was absolutely positive that I had to get like a job after skateboarding.
Eventually.
Yeah, like this is, you can have a hand tattoo and get a job.
Right.
So
But do you not worry about that anymore? Because I'm slowly getting to that place.
I'm absolutely positive that if it isn't radio, even though I'm pretty sure that's the way it's going to be, but if they fired me tomorrow, that I have skill and drive and I have whatever it takes to make it anywhere 1,000 times over.
Did you ever imagine that you would, I mean, not betting on yourself because be it skateboarding or whatever, it's always been self-driven what you've done. But did you ever imagine this would be your life with radio and that you'd be so prolific and good at it? And I mean, you talk about it in glowing terms, like this is a great love of your life, radio.
Yeah. Skateboarding was the max. I tapped out at skateboarding. I want to be one of the greatest skateboarders that ever lived. That was it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, man, I'm going to be, I got to retire and I'm going to be be cool if I actually used to think it'd be cool if I got a job on the radio because I knew I could talk.
Right.
Like better than skateboarders, But I figured I would be like packing boxes at the skate, like somebody in the skate world would hook me up with a job like that or a team manager because I knew the road,
You'd have to figure it out.
I thought that I didn't think it was going to be good. Like, maybe in the end, the ESPN thing, that's kind of, Tony really triggered it. Tony kind of made me believe that there was, I started seeing the TV show and then I started seeing other people that were doing stuff with Tony that were far less talented than I, that were like, their job was to be like TV personalities. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
How did you fucking get
I'm like,
this
man,
job?
I could do that easy.
Some people are painful at it.
So I think that might have triggered something there. And then, it was Tony's idea to be on the radio.
I mean, it's fucking cool that Tony Hawk, who was like your childhood hero, and I'm sure still someone that you like look up to a certain extent, has sort of facilitated your growth as an entertainer.
Yep.
All right, so my last question is, now that you're remarried, and how do you sustain an open relationship? Like, how do you make it work?
I just think less about when it comes to her being with other people. I just think less about me and more about what she wants when it comes to that.
Right.
And then it makes it easier,
And what about for you?
What do you mean?
Like with you, it's just an interesting because I hear people. It seems like to be more of a trendy thing that people talk about, and I always hear
What
from
does?
just like the ideas. I feel like open relationships are becoming more and more.
Oh, really? It's cool?
Right?
That kind of sucks.
Fuck, you're
Yeah,
not.
I
as-
don't like being a part of that stuff.
You're not as
I hated when
counter.
everybody started getting tattoos. I was like, God damn it.
But I always like.
Oh, okay.
I'm fascinated with my.
Well, that just means it's probably more available for me now. I just realized, so that's good.
You're going to be flourishing in this current
Yeah.
environment.
Yeah, I mean, I don't take it as, I don't do it as much anymore. Meeting new people and doing it, hell no. I'm not doing that.
No.
I got friends in porn, man. You know what I mean? And every now and then we bang, and sometimes they like hire me to do stuff as like a stunt penis. You know what I mean? I don't have like a regular girl. Oh, maybe it's never, I don't really like anybody like I like Katie. Like, people annoy me after like an hour, except Katie.
Right.
Like, nobody else. It's just hilarious. You know what I mean? Like, and it's the same with her. Like, all of a sudden, oh, I just really enjoy, Jim's company. Like, it's no
Fuck
bullshit.
that.
It's not going to happen.
But that's
I know this. I know that there's no Brad Pitt. There's no, even Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's her number one. Nobody can take her from me.
Really?
And nobody can
Schwarzenegger, huh?
Yeah.
I love
She's
that.
Super, even now.
But but if she had the opportunity, she's got to do it.
Yeah, no, we're already planning it because
Oh
Mike
my
Catherwood
God.
knows him and knows he trains at the Hollywood gym. So we're going to go down there and she's going to hit him up, see if he wants it.
That'll be incredible.
If he goes for it, it'd be
Oh
even
my
better.
God. What's going to be going through your mind if you're watching the two of them
I'm
in
not
a
going to
dance?
watch them bang.
No?
No. We don't do that.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
if the guy wants us to,
Sure.
or the girl wants us to.
But you're going to get the play-by-play after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if she wants to give me the play-by-play, I'm not going to, give me all the details.
You're
I'm
not going to seek it out?
I don't really care that much.
I mean, because my buddies will sometimes talk about it would be so hot if my wife was with another dude, and I'm like, do you really think that? Because I don't think that lives
I mean, I don't, I don't think that.
right.
I think if we're all having sex and one of the guys is giving it to her, then yeah, that's hot.
Sure.
Because we're all in there doing stuff together.
Wrapped up in it.
But I might, give me the details later. I'm like, I don't need to know the details.
Well,
That's your thing. You know what I mean? Like, go have fun. It's like, did you go have a beer? Oh, how did it taste? Tell me about your second sip. Like, just go enjoy it. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's all it is.
that was it. That was Jason Ellis. Thank you for listening, everyone. Kevin, I'm so sorry. This is it. And now you can go to bed. You can tuck yourself in, maybe throw on a show on the Netflix and enjoy some time with your wife and your life, because it's enough with me. You're so good. You give me your everything, and here I am. Even this outro's too long. I said I'd keep the intro short. I didn't. It ran 7 minutes. That's crazy. Who do I think I am? Anyway, guys, have a great week. Hope it's everything you could want it to be and more. Thank you for listening. I'd be nothing without you. And just remember, darn it, I thought I had something to say right after just remember, but I got nothing. I wish I could leave you with something that would just be a beacon of hope that would get you through the rest of the week. An auditory mic drop, but I got nothing. I shouldn't have even said just remember, because I set myself up. I didn't have anything to deliver. There was nothing on the other end of that just remember. And yet I said it anyway because I thought maybe I'd scrounge up some goodness and, leave you all with something warm and cuddly and life affirming, and no, nothing. Kevin, I'm so sorry. Guys, please tell Kevin I apologize. He's listening. He has to. It's his job. But inevitably, it's not. I mean, I'm sure at this point he's like, God, no, cut it, Josh. Cut the outro, please. I have a life. Well, what can you do? Anyway, guys, love you. Thank you. Curious Podcast. This is Josh Peck signing off. Have a great week. Bye, guys.